Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic, back with another video. This one's going to be on a 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. You can find it in your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. And I'm going to show you step by step how to diagnose a cylinder head problem on the left side that can cause a misfire on numbers 2, 4, and 6 cylinders. Check it out. So, we verified we do have a cylinder 2 misfire. Watching it with the scanner, I can actually see the counters go up. It's actually sitting there detecting a cylinder 2 misfire, and it's showing it. Now, cylinder 2 on this engine is the left cylinder head, which is the one towards the front of the vehicle. Now, that has number 2, number 4, and number 6 cylinders on it. Now, there's two common issues we run across. We do see some coil pack issues. Mainly what happens is they start arcing through the boot itself, and they'll leave a nice little white burnt mark on the side of the rubber, and you know for sure. And the more common issue we see on these first gen 3.6 liter engines is the cylinder head, left side. You'll find burnt intake or exhaust valve seats. That's more than likely what we're going to find, but we're going to go ahead and start taking the upper part of the engine off. We're going to get the upper intake off so we can gain access to the coil pack. Do a little quick observation, look at it, see if it's okay. And while we're there, we'll go ahead and take that valve cover off on that side and try to get the valves in a location so that I can do a cylinder leak down test of number 2. The reason why I'm going to do a cylinder leak down test is it's going to tell me whether or not there's the integrity of the cylinder has been compromised, such as burnt exhaust or intake valve. And if I do, then I know I'm replacing the head because they have a revised cylinder head to take care of that issue. So, and I could swap the coil pack if I don't see anything, put the upper intake back on, run it, and see what happens. But then if I have a problem, I got to take the upper intake back off. So while I've got the upper intake off, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to check both items and try to eliminate one of them. Of course, we get our nice, beautiful, decorative engine cover that has a little sound dampening material up under it. We just pop it straight up. It has a total of 4 fasteners. One of them apparently has stayed on the engine, so we'll pull that off. That one's right here. So when you do take them off, pay attention that there will be a total of 4. Sometimes they stick very well and come off of the cover and stay on the engine. We'll set that to the side. So here is the 3.6 liter with all the beautification taken off. We're down to the sole of the vehicle. Throttle body's at the back. That's where your air inlet comes in through the back side on this one. And of course the intake actually hangs over on the left side cylinder head where numbers 2, 4, and 6 are. So of course that's the reason why we got to take the upper intake off, because it basically droops or lays on top of it. Now what we'll work on next is getting this upper air filter housing off and work on getting the boot, and then get down to the curve right here, the little plastic housing that goes onto the throttle body. We'll get those off so that we can get more access to the intake, and we'll start getting to those fasteners. So, start here. Now, removing the upper filter housing cover is nothing difficult. It's basically the same procedure you would use if you were checking the air filter. You've got 3 snaps around the perimeter, and it's got little fingers that go into some little tracks on the back. Pick up and move that to the side. Now we've got the air filter box upper portion off. Now, we do have a vent hose that goes from here over to the valve cover, and we also got a band clamp right here. I'm going to go ahead and take that band clamp loose right there, and then we'll get the rubber boot off the plastic housing. Now that hose that came from the air filter housing, it went down that valve cover. I'm going to take it off at the valve cover and take it off with everything. I want it out of my way. One, it goes over the intake, so I need that out where it's no longer in my way. So there we go, we just pull it straight off. Now we can get to the air filter band clamp. You can use either an 8mm socket or a flat tip screwdriver, and just start backing off on that clamp. Just keep turning till you got a lot of slack. I can go ahead and grab it from with 2 hands, start pulling and working. And there we go. Now I grab everything that I just took loose, sit it neatly off to the side somewhere where we will not damage it. Now we're going to start working on getting to the portion right in front of the throttle body. Plastic housing that rubber boot went on that goes to the throttle body. There's a push pin right here. You got to grab the center, work the center up to get it off. Now the back side has 2 rubber bushings that snap down. So once we get this off, we'll try to get that loose. Another thing we got to do, we got to disconnect this air intake temp sensor right here. Now when it comes down to taking that push pin out, sometimes it stays stuck in there pretty good. You can try different things like a panel popper, pry bar, also side dikes, or even one of these. It just basically depends on how long it's been on there. Sometimes they come out okay, sometimes they don't. Just take your time, try to get it loose. Like I said, there you go. Just pull up on the centerpiece and work it off. So there you go. It's just like a reusable plastic rivet. Pushes down in there, and when it goes in, it expands. So get that out. Now we'll work on trying to get the backside picked up. On this air intake sensor, all you gotta do is push in on the connector. Help release it. If it gets to where it's a little hard to push in, you can always get you a flat tip screwdriver and squeeze it right there. Squeeze in and pull out. Now like I said, it snaps in with 2 rubber bushings on the back side with 2 pegs that stick up. Now we gotta try to get it up. What we do is probably pick it up from the front corner here. What we need to do is probably get our hand under the back side as well. Try to get them off. They've been on there a while. They may be tight. And there we go. Now we do have one fastener here for this power steering hose right here that we've got to get released because it is snapped onto the plastic housing for helping it to route. We need to get that relocated. One thing you're going to learn about a 3.6 liter is everything is attached to something. The power steering line is attached to this elbow for this air inlet. You'll find different harnesses all the way around the same thing. We just need to release it. Get up in here with just about any tool you can. There we go, we got that off. Now all we got to do is just grab this, kind of pick it off. Now it just slides onto the throttle body. It doesn't attach with a clamp or anything. It does have a rubber boot. You got to kind of turn it to get it out. There's tight clearances here. But that's where it goes on the throttle body right there. Like I said, it's just a rubber boot. The rubber bushings I was telling you that snap down, that's these. That's where the push pin went. There's where our air intake temp sensor was, and that's where that power steering line attached. Now we've got a few things we got to take loose over here in this corner. We've got a connector for the throttle body itself. We've got a vacuum hose right here we need to pull up. We also got our map sensor right here we need to unplug. And like I said, we've also got wires that are clamped on in different places. Some have push pin type fasteners, some have some that just slide down and lock on. You've got to pry off. We need to go ahead and get these things unplugged and pulled off of the intake itself. That way we can start getting to a few more of the hoses and a couple of the brackets over here in this area.